Hello, YouTubers. The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review. And yes, we still celebrating Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. Today, we still celebrating Sylvester McCoy month in August. So today, I'm going to review Doctor Who Paradise Towers. Yes. This story is okay. It's very underrated, in my opinion. Yep. Good story. This 4-part adventure originally transmitted on October 5th to the 26th, 1987. And this is Sylvester McCoy's second Doctor Who adventure. Yep. This is his second story. And the story begins as the Doctor and Mel land the TARDIS in Paradise Tower, a luxurious 20th century high-rise apartment building. There has now fallen into disrepair and chaos. The building is divided between roaming gangs of the young girl called Kangs. The group in color themes, and the Doctor and Mel encounter the Red King. They have just discovered the death of the last Yellow King, and they are plotting how to attack the Blue Kings. Elsewhere in the tower, one of the caretakers who act as Judge Dredd-style policeman is hunted down and killed by a robotic cleaner who appears to be the sadistic chief caretaker. When he overhears the death, the chief sends a squad of caretakers and to arrest the Red Kangs, and ensuing confusion, the Doctor is split from Mel and is captured by the caretaker. Meanwhile, Mel heads off to one of the still occupied apartment. The two elderly ladies lives, Matilda and Tabby, explain that all the able-bodied men left the tower to fight a war, leaving behind only the children and the elderly. The other man is still on the loose in the tower. His name is Pex, who would be hero who appointed himself Mel's guardian. At the caretaker's control center, the Doctor meets the chief caretaker, who greets him as the great architect, designer of Paradise Tower, and then promptly calls for him to be killed. The Doctor's city for an imaginary rule from the caretaker's manual, confusing them enough to make his escape. Mel and Pex, meanwhile, head up to the top of the building, and they are captured by a party of Blue King before the pair are freed by the Kangs. Revealed to Mel that Pex survived by fleeing from the war. The Doctor finds the great architect named Krogan and is reunited with the Red King. They explain that the Red King and the caretaker has been disappearing in ever greater numbers. While the Doctor is being interrogated, the caretaker tracks him down to the Red King headquarters and attempts to break down the door to the headquarters. Elsewhere, Mel has visited Tilda and Tabby again. Soon, they find herself under threat. When it emerged, they are cannibal and plan to eat her. The Doctor succeeds in holding off the caretakers long enough for the Kang to flee. Meanwhile, Tilda and Tabby are delayed in the eating of Mel. They are disturbed by a noise of the waste disposal. It turned out to be a melted claw, which first dragged Tabby to death in the disposal system, and then Tilda. Pex arrive and somehow succeed in saving Mel. Mel and Pex find a map of the tower and decide to venture to the roof, where the luxury swimming pool is located. The Doctor is taken to the caretaker headquarters again when he realized that the chief caretaker has been allowing the cleaner to kill people in the tower, but that killing has now gone out of hands, and the chief caretaker is no longer the creature. The chief keeps in the basement, demanding more sustain and making its own hunting arrangement. When the chief heads off to investigate the death of Tabby and Tilda, the Red Kings attack the headquarters and rescue the doctor. He returns with them to the base, taking with him the illustrated prospectus for the tower, which they all watch. It reminds the doctor that Krogan, the great architect of Paradise Towers, also designed the Miracle City, a cutting-edge development which kills its occupants. It seemed that Krogan had advised to people actually populating the building. The Blue King arrived suddenly, overpowering the Red ones. But it soon becomes clear that the game is over, and that the Mao must now work together. So, Mel and Pex finally swam the swimming pool. She was attacked by a robotic killer cab. The Red King are now known as the monstrous in the basement, and the guests must be linked to the terror of the tower. The doctor heads off to investigate. They find Chief has been heard by the cleaners. The doctor soon spotted the cleaners too when the robots started to attack. The king rescued the doctor in the nick of time. While on the roof, Pex failed to rescue Mel, who had destroyed the crab itself. When the doctor and the king arrived, they taunt Pex for the cowardice. The doctor explained that the Krogan felt human beings will ruin his creation. The remaining Rizzle, led by the woman named Maddie, to join them all in the swimming pool to pledge for their work. So the deputy chief caretaker and the surviving caretaker have been convinced of the peril of the basement. Soon join. The chief caretaker has now been killed, and his corpse animated by the artificial intelligence of the Krogan. He now intends to use the cleaners to kill everyone, a filthy human parasite which had caused. Finding the combat forest, the doctor and Pex devise a ruse to lure the chief into the booby trap. However, Krogan, when the plan goes wrong, Pex sacrifices himself to drag the chief down to the trap. They both killed, but the terror is over. As a period of reflection of Peck's funeral, the doctor and Mel leaves Paradise Tower, trusting the remaining king, Rizzy, and the caretakers to rebuild its society as the TARDIS materializes and the graffiti says, Pex lives. So, my thoughts of Doctor Who Paradise Towers. Well, it's a very awesome story. My opinions is the story has some little bit of violence throughout the story, but nevertheless, it's a very intriguing story. But nevertheless, let's just say very achieved, but a little bit dull in places. So Paradise Tower gets an 8 out of 10 in my vote. That's how I rate the story. So let's take a look at the DVDs. Here's the 7th Doctor being strangled by the chief caretaker. Here's the two Red Kangs. Sylvester McCoy, years 1987 and 1989. Here's the purple BBC logo. Here's the spine. There's the 2 Entertain logo. And the back. Audio commentaries by actor Judy Cornwell, writer Stephen Watt, and special sound designer Dick Mills. Moderated by Mark Araris. Horror of the High Rise. Casting Sylvester. Deleted and extended scenes. Continuity, Girls, Girls, Girls of the 80s. Alternate soundtrack, photo galleries, and so forth. Here's the DVD of Paradise Towers. Well, that's it for this review. Rate, comment, and subscribe.